onward. Ogwin there for backup, locking him down. KaoTZ picks up that turtle, and in the midst of it, carpet being laid down. Renejade's in the mix. KaoTZ going to the backline with Spirit of Alpha. Super Marco takes out Domain Kite, but he's all alone, taking out 2 on the backside. But Spirit of Alpha, they're ditching that lore. They took down Renegade. Zaman Force dancing around. Here comes Super Marco with the damage, but so much damage coming from Demon Kite. There was a huge play, but I think it makes a lot of sense. So it will be the Hilda getting picked up, but so it will be a Badang roam, then Hilda and EXP side.
Feels like that's the case, right?
Into the game.
Well, I was just caught off guard with the Badang graphic right there. W production. But it's so great to go back to basics. Alpha getting its resurgence, and then finally seeing Xavier in this entire matchup. How fitting.
Quite foretelling, actually. FLCN, early invade here. They figured out where Demon Kite is going to be on the map, which is great information for Team Falcons to make some smarter decisions here. Because again, I think a lot of it is going to come down to that mid lane, right? If we're looking at emblems, I'm hoping for Concussive Blast on Renegade. Yes, Renegade's got Concussive Blast, but it's going to be Brave Smite for Ogwin, so it's about freezing out the lane.
The beauty about this Hilda is that right now you're not a roaming trio, you're a roaming quartet. You bring the Hilda into the mix, Team Falcons are able to amp up or ramp up that tempo and go into the jungles of Aurora, making Suyo suffer just a little bit more before the first objective spawns up.
Well, I think the priority is so very important, right? Because in these team fights, I feel like Aurora has a bigger inclination of like just standing back, waiting for Team Falcons to make that first move, because they don't have a lot of disengage tools, and as soon as those cooldowns are down, you lay the carpet, you start opening the gates, and you let the flood through.
Aurora does have late game insurance in that Xavier though, so how he plays it will be a little bit interesting if it ever goes to that super late game mark. But this Xavier pick just denies the opportunity of an early game rotation, so Aurora just really has to hunker down. You see Team Falcons already cycling up with that turtle onward onto FLCN. Will be able to escape safe and sound. He doesn't have that sprint anymore. KaoTZ will pick up that turtle. They will take what they can, and they'll ditch out of the way.
Nicely done. And this is what I'm talking about, right? Priority. If you make that first move, you're able to sit on these objectives a little bit faster and then hold priority over your opponent. Now that we're holding this neutral objective, the inclination is on you to try and take the space from us. And I think that's how Team Falcons is going to be playing the rest of this game.
Ooh, look at how Team Falcons are playing, just living rent-free in Aurora's jungle. FLCN down low, SOD hits. I don't know if they want to come in. Domain Kite just holding on to the SOD. Team Falcons know how much they are able to hammer Aurora at this point.
Look at the efficiency, right? While all of that was happening, living rent-free down on the bottom side, we see that Few isn't being that anchor. He quickly moves up to the top side of the map in case Domain Kite decides to go for the big punish. You can see that both sides aren't really committing like huge ults. The most you saw was probably from Ogwin. Other than that, it's just been chill.
It's a very smart move by Team Falcons. You know they can take on a 3-on-4 in the early game just because of the high burst damage that Ogwin provides with that Badang. And you don't really need UA or Few to be in that position just because, okay, let's just protect Super Marco. Make sure that he wins the lane against Domain Kite. And that's the MO for Team Falcons at this point.
Well, if you're talking about the early game, the only ones who quote-unquote have some relevant damage here... Oh, wait. Carpet's going to be open. I don't think it's going to lead to much of a fight here, right? It's just for plating, and Super Marco doesn't mind just sticking nearby it just to farm whatever he can. But coming back to the conversation of the early game, the only ones who really have some form of, like, raw damage naturally is going to be Edward and as well as Demon Kite. Everybody else will require items. Obviously, there's Chip coming in from Renegade and his high base damages, but even so, that's on the assumption he lands the Concussive Blast on somebody useful.
We'll see as the turtle spawns up in the next 5 seconds. Is Ogwin making this roam Badang count, checking all of the bushes, pushing Aurora away from any skirmishes that are about to happen. KaoTZ will start things up.
Chilling for now. Lays the carpet. Tries to break Few's position here.
Renegade's all alone though. FLCN really down deep. They're chasing onto Renegade. Oh no! What has he gone to? The fist card will keep him safe and locked down. Renegade goes down. Edward, primal form, but 3 members are on him. They will be chasing him. Alpha Blood. Wait! Edward finally goes down by the hands of Few. They're still going for it though. KaoTZ survived with a sliver, but not for long before UA takes him out with a mystic shot.
And this is the big problem I was talking about. The items necessary for Xavier to be relevant in these fights is just not there yet. That Dawning Light is great, but as you can see, still a lot of members who are low, not threatened by it at all, despite Edward's high early game damage, especially once he pops that Primal Wrath. It's a little sad though, because FlapTeasy is just giving so much vision. That's why they're so decisive on their calls.
Very smart move by FlapTeasy. Inside that base, he's got high damage, he's got a sprint, he's got escape mechanisms. He can live rent-free down Aurora's jungle, keeping them at bay from the neutral objective. Renegade, though, no backup whatsoever, just taking on 1v4 on his own lonesome.
And now Team Falcons, utilizing their priority, utilizing their push and map control, want to slow down these rotations as much as they can. Tri-brush control coming out from Ogwin, not to mention that every time he throws out one of those fists, it knocks you back and gives you a bit of a slow as well. So it's a little obnoxious to deal with, but thankfully he hasn't completed the Thunderbelt.
It's a very fast rotation. Edward already moving his way, making his way up, but on the bottom side, Demon Kite is all alone underneath the base. Here comes KyleTeasy proxying that wave, and Demon Kite able to get out safe. FlapTeasy won't want him to escape so easily. Here comes KyleTeasy, the Spirit Alpha. Oh! Won't be able to hit him. One more hit will do it. As KyleTeasy takes Demon Kite down, Edward a little bit too late for the re-engage.
It's a game of information. They spotted out Edward in the mid lane, in that middle of the rotation, thanks to Ogwin, as well as FlapTeasy double reconfirming it on the bottom side jungle here. Feels like Team Falcons, they have opened up the map very, very well, and Aurora cannot do much about it for now. It's just a matter of scaling, just taking the punches, make sure you don't get knocked out before you have the Haymaker ready.
Ogwin's already one level ahead of Renegade. FlapTeasy already has that onward. Ogwin there for backup, locking him down. KyleTeasy picks up that turtle, and in the midst of it, carpet being laid down. Renegade's in the mix. KyleTeasy going to the backline. Spirit Alpha. Super Marco takes out Domain Kite, but is all alone, taking out 2-3 members from Aurora Falls. For what?
Very clean fight. I mean, yes, they have to contest it. There's just no choice. In this contention, they want to slow down this game. Obviously, they don't want to give 3 members over to to Team Falcons, but even so, the idea is correct. I think that Aurora, at this point, they're just going to have to take it, right? With mid-tier 1 open, Team Falcons are on a bit of a timer to kind of speed up this game. Sooner or later, this Hilda is going to lose relevancy. Sooner or later, Demon Kite is going to come to a point where you can actually out-sustain that raw damage. And for now, the setup needs to look good. As long as Team Falcons don't clump up too close together to get hit by an Earth Shatter or even fall down to the underneath the influence of the carpet, they should be all right.
Yeah, taking a look at the gold and EXP graph, Team Falcons already up ahead, 6,000 gold. Seeping through the late game. And we're talking about UA's Mystic Field, but hold on a second right here. Red carpet already laid out, but from that backside, Ogwin's left all alone. 5 members right on top of him with Eternal Guard, but it's not enough. Super Marco still staying under that bush, but it's a good trade-off by Aurora.
I don't know about that. Bot tier 1, is the life of Ogwin equivalent to a tier 2 down bot side? That's the real question. Personally for me, I don't think so, but Aurora will take anything at this point. T2s are always just pure economy. It doesn't really hold strategic value across the map. And for now, Team Falcons maintaining their 6.6k lead, and more importantly, Kyle having a very clear level lead against Demon Kite.
As the clock ticks down, UA's Dawning Light is going to start to hurt. I mean, he's almost taken out a chunk of damage off of Super Marco, but he needs more time. But now the engaged cavalry coming into the jungles yet again. Team Falcons not giving Aurora a chance to breathe.
Looking at the item list so far, where is Yue in that item list? Looks like he's trying to build up to an Enchanted Talisman. Hasn't even finished off T2 boots at this point. In comparison to Few, who's building very utility, sorry, not Golden Staff, but instead Glowing Wand, and has already finished the Blood Wings as well, just in case he does get collapsed on by Edward, or maybe accidentally walks into the Mystic Fields. That range can be quite deceptive. Yue, oh, not Enchanted Talisman. Instead, goes for the Wishing Lantern. He's going to start poking out his opponents early on.
Team Falcons going to start things up with the Lord Dance. Lord pushing and pulling over the side of Team Falcons. Concealed play by Ogwin, trying to find an angle. FlapTeasy latching on to Demon Kite. They've caught Renegade. Trapped, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. FlapTeasy onto that backside. Edward's next in the call. But Team Falcons, they got what they can and they go. But the bottom line is Domain Kite on the offside of the map, taking control of that long lane.
A decisive decision coming in for Aurora. They're willing to sacrifice the Lord. They're willing to sacrifice Renegade. They just need their cores to come online as soon as possible. And honestly, Domenkai, he's not too far off the Trinity build. It's 10 minutes into the game. He is about 30 seconds late from actually picking it up on tempo, but it doesn't matter still because Falcons have quite an outstanding lead against them. At this point of time, let's see how many inhibitors Team Falcons are able to accomplish because the high ground is looking much better for Aurora.
Yeah. It's very, very desperate pathing, especially from Demonkai. Look how deep he is. Lord marching down the bottom side, though. Laying down the glorious pathway just to slow everything down, but Renegade on the wrong side of the wall. Turret at half health, almost half. As Team Falcons, they touch and they go. FLCN trying to make a move, trying to bait them in. SOD lands, but I don't think they want to go in. Dawning Light for Shape Measure.
Trying to minimize the damage here. Mystic Fields have trumped them out, and I think this is where Team Falcons are going to say no, despite Super Marco trying to show some presence, trying to bait out that fight against Aurora. They are not going to take the bait. Looking at the items, now we see penetration boots already built, and yes, this is a bit of desperation coming in from UA's side, but they're already pushing to their inhibitors. This is the best build that he can go for at this point of time, as Domeng has finally finished the Trinity.
It's a very disciplined play from especially Team Falcons. A lot of teams crumble under the pressure and the greed from charging underneath the turrets, sending their bodies, throwing their bodies, and just sacrificing themselves for kills to take down the turrets. But Team Falcons, they understand the phase of the game. They understand that they just need to wait for the next lore. Just take it one step at a time.
It looks like Team Falcons have almost set up the checkmate angle, right? They just need the next lore. They're about to hit that 10K gold lead. They're currently at 9K at this stage of the game. Oh, sorry, 8.6. Close enough, close enough. But RORA, if they want to win this, they're going to need a huge Mystic Field coming in from UA with a follow-up Earth Shatter coming in from Edward, right? Demonkai cannot enable his team at this point of time. If he goes in, he needs a guaranteed way to come out, and there's no guarantee without the Mystic Fields.
I don't know about you, but Aurora seems to be, this is their game plan all along. Just let them come in, let them start the engage because they have that Xavier, and we all know how Xavier is so deadly on the high ground. You've got decent wave clear, decent entrapment with the Mystic Field, and Team Falcons really have to throw themselves out and sacrifice themselves in order to get a kill when it comes down to the uber late game. Oh, hold on a second. Ogwin, the spot father, forced to use the flicker out of the way, stunned up by the wall, but here comes Super Marco, holding on to the Xavier Force. They know they don't want to take it as Aurora backs out as well.
Oh boy, Synchro Fissure doing so much damage to Renegade, the tank. He's got no MR built on him. The most he has is a Gleaming Gem and as well as a Dominance Ice. No Athena Shields built just yet. And even Edward, despite having an Athena Shield, did get a pretty hard chunk there for at least 1/5 of his health. So that's the Athena Shield difference here. Now Team Falcons, this is the checkmate angle we were talking about, right? They want to get priority on these lanes. Ideally, they rush down the Lord, but Aurora is not going to make it easy.
Team Falcons starting things off. FLCN on the backside, but Spirit of Alpha, they're ditching that Lord. They took down Renegade. Xavier Force dancing around. Here comes Super Marco with the damage, but so much damage coming from Demon Kite. There was a huge play, but 4 members down. Aurora, they're starting to crumble. FLCN takes care of Domain Kite. The rest of Team Falcons making a beeline towards the base.
Great decision making here. FLCN just keep Domain busy. The rest will go for the free inhibitor. They have the 10K gold lead that they were looking for, and the crystal is wide open.
10 seconds, Super Marco will be able to take this. Just destroying Aurora's hopes and dreams for making to the playoffs.
Woo-hoo-hoo, nicely done. Tactically perfect coming in from Falcons. This is what you can do with 3 lanes that hold priority. Aurora are going to have to relook at their draft.
RORA had a draft that wants to go late and can go late, but they just never made it to that point. The last team fight looked pretty promising at the start, right? Domain was popping up, but back